Good fourth meal, everybody. Welcome into the Winklerverse. I just got done with my Friday show on the Infinity Sports Network, and I gotta talk a little more Brewers here, as I'm sure you would expect. And man, that sucks. So the Brewers scored a run. They did, and they scored a run. I'm taping this at 1 a.m, so it will be out for consumption. But this is a live show at 1 a.m. I don't know what flies I'll catch, if any. Should be doing this at McGuire's with Tim, but did want to get my thoughts out before I headed home. And in about 4 hours, have to wake up to coach a soccer game. But will we be able to sleep? I think, the last time that we got this far, we got farther than this, and it was a lot more heartbreaking. It was a lot more heartbreaking in different ways. This one's got a lot of heartbreak to it, I think, as well. But that was a series I remember in 2018. I was at my parents' in Florida, and I was listening to Tim and Billy, and I just listened to a lot of people call into that show and say, "Oh, we're so close. We're so close. We'll get back soon. What a fun season." And I said, "You can't take these for granted." And that's just not me. Jake, I have a voicemail I was going to play over the speaker from you the other day, unless you want to participate. I'm not somebody who is going to say great season after a loss. I'm not someone who's going to say that was a great season. We had a lot of fun. We did have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, but it's about how it ends. And we're going to be miserable and stew in this for a little bit. And then next year will come and we'll find reasons to be optimistic. I think where this one feels, because that one was heartbreaking because that team was good enough in 2018. That team was good enough. That was back when Christian Yelich was hitting RBIs in the playoffs. Has not since. Team hit 119 in this series, by the way. I think where this series is heartbreaking is there was a reel I had. Let me see if I can pull that up, because some people were liking it again, or it got back into the comments. There was a reel that I had that we had talked about the thing that Mark Attanasio said regarding a summer of entertainment and passion. Right? A summer of entertainment and passion. And I can't find it. And the longer I stall here, the dumber I'm going to sound. But it was like, I said they're going to go as far. I'm trying to find audio of myself. I can just be audio of myself. They're going to go as far as they can go, and then the system will get in the way. So I've always commended the Brewers for being competitive. I've always commended the Brewers for still trying to go for it. Now, the bites of the apple thing gets frustrating because at one point you would love for them to go for it. You really want them to go for it. But if they're ever going to have, it's just like, they can't. They can't. At some point, you would like them to, and you thought this could have been the time. Eugenio Suarez, who was the star of the evening until Shohei Ohtani buried the lead, 10 Ks, 3 home runs. He was the star of the evening, and he had 2 home runs, and he was having a very Jonathan Scope-esque season over there. Now, he did actually hit home runs when they brought him over. He had 13 of them, but he was hitting like 189. And then tonight, 2 home runs. Home run early and then the grand slam, and that's why you trade for those guys. The Brewers' batting order just was not up to snuff with this Dodgers team. And you know what? I was doing the show with Carlos, Cubs guy, and we put together a lineup, because Horvat and I were talking about this earlier today. The best Brewers-Cubs lineup you can have is like Churio, Tucker, PCA, maybe Bush or Vaughn or Nico, and maybe a Caleb Durbin, Dansby Swanson, Contreras. The pitching staff is Peralta and Miz and Matthew Boyd. And we're still getting, we could have combined the teams. We could have saved all the strife, combined the teams, still gone to LA and got our asses kicked. Still got it crushed. Because this Dodgers team is so good. I'll play a little bit. Jake, I'm going to play a little bit of your voicemail from the other day, where after the first 2 games, I was saying this is not a salary cap, and that's what we're calling it. But this is not a salary situation. The Brewers, who have 1/4 the salary of the Dodgers, they didn't lose those first 2 games because of the salary cap, is what I was saying. Now, it is baked in that they have Blake Snell and they have Yamamoto because they can afford those guys and we can't. And so I thought in the vacuum, the Brewers were changing their approach. And yeah, but now of course we lost because we can't afford these guys. Of course. So a little bit from Jake.
Hey, Hot Take Jake, let me talk to you. What the hell, man? So I'm living in a bizarre world. I open up the Winklerverse today thinking, great, I can, share my misery with Bart here. And then the first thing him and Tim start talking about is like, let's make this clear. The Brewers aren't losing this series because of the payroll difference between the Dodgers. I'm just like, wait, what? Let's back that up a little bit here. That's exactly why they're losing this series. The Dodgers payroll is $350 million, and that's not accounting for all of the Shohei Ohtani bullshit deferred money. To the Brewers, $93 million. So for you people that aren't good at math, that's nearly 4 times the amount of payroll. And they make the argument of like, well, they're not hitting, that's why they're not winning. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's because the Dodgers have 4 aces that are pitching like aces that they were able to pay as aces. So it's not like the Brewers are just.
And let me cut you off there, because that's where the bullshit of this series is. That's where and I don't want to look, the Dodgers, they have the money and they're trying to win, and other teams don't do that necessarily. And Dave Roberts going all I want to ruin baseball John Cena style was pretty fucked up, actually. I mean, I get it. It pumps him up, but pretty fucked up. But the thing with what Jake just said 4 days ago, and now I played it here, is Blake Snell missed a good chunk of the season. And Yamamoto pitched pretty consistently. Glasnow missed some time, couple of months. Shohei, this was only the 3rd time he's gone 6 innings, and it was his last 3 starts. So I had said the Dodgers are going to win 130 games. I thought they were going to break all the records. But they were never playing for the regular season. They didn't care about home field advantage. This is like the bullshit that LeBron and the Lakers do. Fuck it, we'll make the play-in. We'll go from there. Yeah, they had to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs with whoever. They got the Dodgers. I mean, the whole lineup. They Clayton Kershaw's out there. You didn't see Clayton Kershaw in this series. You're not gonna. They had these guys pretty much load managementing, resting, rehabbing for this. Blake Snell, Glasnow, Ohtani. These guys weren't pitching on 5 days rest throughout the season. Roki Sasaki, he was hurt. Now he's their closer. So that's what sucks. Is that, and they don't care about home field. They don't care about that. So that's the part that really sucks. And then, of course, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. And, of course, the Brewers have to hit every hard ball right to these guys. So it's just a bummer. So, yeah, Jake, I'll just stop it there. But you were right to call in and have those thoughts. Most certainly you were. I talked to Austin an hour and a half ago. You stayed up.
Yeah, man. I had to. I had to.
Do we do this? Do we like the 1 a.m. Saturday morning lives?
I'm a big fan of it. Yeah. I mean, for me personally. Yeah. Got a little road soda going here.
I got my favorite mixed drink and my favorite joke.
H2O.
You got it.
2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
You got it.
Yeah. So
What is
what I did,
this? It's 1 a.m. Bart Winkler?
I'll get the fuck out of here, dude. All right.
Bart Winkler, an extremely bored
Non.
non-broadcaster.
Yeah.
I will say I've never gotten Bart Winkler, but I'm just gonna keep that guy's face up for a while.
Yeah, get him famous.
No.
So when I called into your national show, I for the most part called in pretty sober. I had like a few beers. But
Oh.
I was referencing when I called in like March, I called in completely hammered and was like, dude, the Brewers are good. And I was like, all right, I gotta get off the line. And they were good. They were good all season long. And I didn't want to call in until the end of their playoff run because I thought that it would jinx it for that. Like I called in for other shit, but I didn't want to call in and just talk
Sure.
like Brewers about it because I was like, all right, whatever the hell they did, I'm just gonna roll with that. They lost literally everything that they did. And yeah, we can sit there and talk about what the Dodgers have expendable, which is money. They can have guys.
They can get guys overseas. They have the money. It's not just the salary they pay to their players, Austin. It's the money they had to like recruit these guys for years, and they've worked Roki Sasaki for years. And obviously, Ohtani came to LA, but in Los Angeles with the Angels, and then he sees that there's better pastures because there's actually a team that's spending money. The tough part about this series, and I think the tough part about talking about how this season came to an end is an adage that I do not like, but two things can be true.
Oh, terrible saying.
Two things can be true. One, you have the way baseball is set up that is with this TV contract that the Dodgers get and the amount of money they spend. Remember when we lost Corey Knebel? Remember that? That was a huge blow.
And then he got to go just rehab with the Dodgers.
They paid him $5 million to rehab. We were asking him to be our closer for like 3.5. So they've got this inherent advantage. They do, but we know that. And so if that's going to change, baseball needs to change, which I will get to in a minute. The other thing, the other thing. So it's the salary thing, but also the Brewers played like shit.
Yes, that's what it comes down to.
They hit 119. None of the slash line numbers were over 200. If you like those stats, Pat Murphy in Game 3 is like, fuck it, I'm going to start Brandon Lockridge. Once you saw Lockridge's name in the lineup, you knew it was not going to be ending well. They let off Yelich. All of a sudden, like, we're watching the season. It's like, okay, Quintana's up, Priester's up, Miz is up, Freddie's up. We're like, we really like this rotation. And then come playoffs, we have no fucking rotation. It's just Freddie. So the salary thing is real, and there will be ramifications out of that. But also the Brewers in the last, because they lost 2 games of the Cubs, so they lost 6 of their last 7. They were not the team in the postseason, at least starting in Game 3, that they were the rest of the season. And that wasn't salary. That's why I said the thing I said the other day. That was them not being them or overthinking or just they got cold and it's a bad time to get cold. But this was not the Brewer. The Brewer team we watched this week was not the Brewer team that we watched all summer. I think that's where it's very frustrating is because now on the national level, it's like, this is the fucking Brewers.
And what sucks for you probably the most is that you have to now talk nationally about the Brewers. But that's probably, at least it ended on Friday. So come Monday, you don't have to really talk about the Brewers. You can talk about the upcoming series.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Brewers anymore. But then they lose to like what is the greatest performance of all time was Shohei Ohtani. And that's a story, but that forever, you see these highlights, you're
It's
going to
always
see,
going to be against the Brewers.
yeah, you're going to see Blake Perkins in there. You're
What
going to see Jose Quintana in there.
I know we briefly talked about it in that one game. Had Bryce Terang leaned into that one pitch, do you think it alters the timeline? Because I know you're a Marvel guy. So, like, if one thing goes different, does it alter?
Well, I'm not sure
the
we
other
win that
stuff?
game. I mean, I'm not sure we win that game still.
Oh, yeah, I'm just asking you.
Obviously, it gives us more of a chance. So then what? So then we win.
Well, then you win. Then you win the first game.
Best case scenario. Best case, which is better than where we're at because the season's over.
You swept. Looked like fools.
Best case scenario is we're going into Saturday night 2-2.
All right. Well, that would be best case. I'm just asking you. So when you were brought up
tomorrow.
When you were brought up, okay, and first of all, I'm not going to excuse the Brewers swinging off at pitches 6 inches off the plate and then just looking down at one's right down dead center. I'm not going to excuse that because that's pretty much how they were playing. And I don't know where that mentality all of a sudden came from. But I do want to ask, like, do you think it alters it all if Bryce Terang takes that hit?
Like, do you think that mentally they were just like, oh, fuck, we're done?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe. But exactly. Talent's going to win out, Austin. Talent was going to win out.
Yeah, I know.
They were a lot closer talent-wise in 18
Bart,
than we were here.
Oh, Bart. But I say we're a we team, right? Beat them in 6 games already this year. You can beat the team.
Everyone was hurt. No, they had no pitchers. Who are we facing? The Dodgers trot out fucking Dustin May and Emmett Sheehan, and these guys are fine, but they arrested all these guys.
I think it comes down to mentality then there, Bart.
Bill says, I was correct. The Brewers picked the worst week to play like shit. I also don't buy into that they were spent after the ALDS. Or the NLDS? Well, the fans were. We were. Monday was too quick for a game. I was like, well, we got to fucking play again? Jesus. No, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you are saying. Like, if they win that game, they got more confidence. And yeah, maybe. But like I said, you're still facing Yamamoto. You're still facing.
I know. How can you
still facing Glass now?
How can you stop him from going a complete game? That was game 2. I guess what I'm trying to say.
2018, there's a lot of like revisionist moments that could change things. This was
hindsight's 2010, Bart.
You're right. They play the series 100 times.
My eyes
Obviously,
are
we
wide
wouldn't be this shitty every time. Jake says, open your eyes. And Green Magic says, Austin loves this team. It's beautiful.
Oh, I do. I went to fucking both NLCS games. What a waste of money.
You know, it's not a waste of money.
Is Happy Place Hemp, because I got an order on the way coming tomorrow. And by the way, let me tell you, I have the tinctures coming for my girlfriend's cats. I got myself some gummies. I got myself some seltzers on the way. And I'm going to get some they're also for my dad. So I'm going to give those to him. But Did you know, Bart, that I have used this promo code not once, not twice, but 3 times?
You can use it as many times as you want. It's 25% off every order.
Tell me more.
I think you said it all.
Well, goddamn.
I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. I got to coach a game. Probably I got to watch another one, and then I'm going to come home, and the seltzers I have right now are all 20. And normally I'm a 10 man.
Yeah, those ones get you high.
So I'm going to drink half of a 20 and pass out.
Yeah, those get you high.
And then I'll wake up and then drink the rest and have a nice day.
In the AM. I mean, it's the weekend, worked all week.
I'm doing a live show at 1:30 in the fucking morning. You think I care about fucking whatever time it is?
No.
Let me say this about the salary cap, and I think I've touched on it on some of these pods, is let's just all be careful about whose sides we take. Because if they go salary cap, and I think this series, and Jeff Passan wrote about it, but this series is like, if the Dodgers win, there's going to be a lockout. If the Brewers win, they'll have evidence that, you can win without spending money. Man, what a way to tell that. Shohei Ohtani's making $2 million a year until he gets his deferred money, which how is that fucking possible? But if they go to a salary cap, Brewers are spending what, 130? Dodgers, some of these other teams are in the 300s. Dodgers, pushing 4 or 5. So what's the salary cap going to be? What are the players going to agree to? If teams are spending 3-4 million, you're not going to say, all right, have a salary cap at 220. And even if you did, let's say you do, that doesn't mean the teams are going to spend 220. Well, then put in a salary cap floor. Well, okay, then teams are going to spend 110 if they have to. Well, make the floor 210 and it's 220 cap. Like the NBA. Well, no, then you're just going to pay more money to shittier guys and good guys are going to make less money. That's not going to work. The owners are going to try to convince us that salary cap equals parity. And it's not going to be that black and white. The owners also are not going to let us know that salary cap means they're actually paying the players less overall. This doesn't mean there's going to be a revenue cap. The salary cap's not going to be you have to spend a certain amount of your revenue. If that's the case, then we can start talking. Then it gets a little different. But if they're just going to say salary cap, we're going to say, okay, everyone's good. Why don't the players are greedy? Also, back to another hallmark Bart take is we have a hard time differentiating between millions and billions. Players make $330 million contract. Okay, owners are worth $5 billion. We know that billion's more than a million, but we still get tripped up by the numbers. Just like I believe it was Wendy's that came out with a 3rd-pound burger to compete with McDonald's quarter pounder.
People didn't realize the difference.
People thought the quarter pounder was bigger because 4 is bigger than 3. Even though obviously 1/3 is bigger than 1/4. And I don't think people realize that a billion is 1,000 million. So they have all the PR tricks and they're going to say, well, do you want baseball or not? The players are making this. They're the ones that are cause of it. And we're all going to fall in line. So I'm just trying to caution people now that, if you want to take the owner side, that's fine. But they are able to frame the argument better because they can say, do you want baseball or not? And they can promise us the gift of parity. But the salary cap, what's the word I keep looking for? Not implementation. I keep saying implication. Doesn't mean parity.
And I know what you're trying to say. And the worst part about that is that you're going to have players that are on the Dodgers, on the Phillies, that are going to be making that
Wow,
kind of
some of
money,
these
and then you're
comments
going to have
are.
people.
So I'm never doing a 1:30 live show again. Some of these comments are.
What, people are going nuts at you?
I mean, I don't even want to.
No, throw some up there. But then the difference is you're gonna have the Andrew Monasterios of the world. You know, they're gonna be fighting. Like, where does the union side? The union will most likely side for the players. They'll do what's best for the highest paid players. So how does that ever really get resolved in that sense? And then I kind of feel like we're talking about some Greg in Michigan shit. You know, with all due.
Yeah, understood.
You know,
Jake wants a swim class update. Yeah, Adetokounmpo's no longer go to my swim place. They don't live here. Sorry, Jake. Sorry to break your hearts.
where is Jake, by the way? I mean, this would be prime hour for him.
He's probably in bed.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's up. I can play the rest of his voicemail.
Yeah, slap a voicemail in. Let me see if I got something to respond to this.
All right, I'll play the rest of Jake's voicemail.
Missing that meatballs down the middle. These guys are painting the black. They are on fire, and there's just nothing you can do about it because they have that luxury. You've got 13 players on the Dodgers making $8 million or more to 3 players on the Brewers, one of whom is not even on the roster for the postseason. And keep in mind, of those 13 players for the Dodgers, only one, 96-year-old Clayton Kershaw, actually came through their system. So they are literally buying a championship. And then I hear Bart say, well, I don't want to sacrifice an entire season, even if it means a salary cap for baseball. And I'm just like, excuse me?
I don't.
Bart, you said before this year, like, this is as out as you've ever been on baseball. Now they're winning, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't sacrifice a year for my kid. He shouldn't have to go through that. And I'm like, fuck that.
You should have seen this kid when they lost last night. He was like crying in the couch.
I heard about the temper tantrum on the show tonight.
All right, here's the rest.
I would record my kids crying every single day and post it on social media if it meant that there was going to be a salary cap for baseball. But it continues. My guy Grant, who I love to death, him and Bart in agreement that, like, it's kind of cool having a rich guy sport that these owners can just buy a championship. And I'm like, what fucking planet are we on right now? I mean, I think Bart he doesn't want to be accused of, being on the national radio. I don't want to be accused of being the excuses guy. And I know Grant loves his hot takes, such as, it's weird that people eat at restaurants. Okay. But I think we're overthinking it a little bit, and maybe it's a little bit of copage too. I don't know. I'm going to get out of here. It's just sad. My Packers apathy is setting in over having a glass ceiling with LaFleur. The Brewers and MLB are being exposed, and it's like hate the game, not the player. I've got this sinking evidence-based feeling that Giannis is gone, and douchebag vest boy is driving Lucky into oblivion. So I don't know. Sports suck at the moment. I can change my mind. And to paraphrase the amazing Larry David, I say this to the Winklerverse: fuck you, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I'll do a Packer one, huh?
Yeah, we got to do a Packer one. Okay, I just need to reiterate the fact.
And then I'm going to go home.
Yeah, that's fine. I need to reiterate the fact that the Brewers were the best team.
If this was the English Premier League, you'd be celebrating a championship.
Yeah, they were the best team in baseball. And they beat the Cubs. And that's what everybody, including the players, were celebrating. That's what you all celebrated. You didn't look at the bigger picture. It had to be about the effing Cubs. It had to be about what was going on Twitter, and you missed the bigger picture. And you went to the Dodgers and you choked. You choked. They did. And I saw, and I love Armin. I like him. But I saw him quote tweet Chuck, and Chuck was like, oh, they laid an egg in the playoffs. And Armin's like, oh, they didn't lay an egg. They just did whatever. Okay, well then describe it with whatever adjective, verb, usage you want. They pissed it away because you got fucking swept. That's what happened. You got swept.
They had an opportunity. They weren't able to cash in on it. Two things can be true.
Yeah. Well, the only one thing that's true,
Dodgers
is that
super
they got
team,
swept.
equal parts they didn't. And I think what's a bummer is while the Dodgers payroll is what it is, it did not feel like the Brewers put up that much of a fight. And I think that's where a lot of
not with scoring one run a game. No, you gotta. I mean that wasn't what they did all year. It's just different. Whatever the fuck happened there. My only equation to it is it's you burnt it all out on the Cubs series. That's it. I don't know how else to put my mind through it. How else do you blow it like that, dude? I know you got to get going. So I'll end you with this. I just don't understand how you blow it like that. And I'll take your comments off the air. Oh, am I still here? All right. Well, okay, so Bart's back.
You're just hosting the show?
I was gonna try again. Yeah. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'll hold the fort for a sec.
I'm at the station. It's bad enough I can't get shit done at my house. I'm at the station.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I do IT. You got somebody that comes in there and checks on that shit or no?
I kind of think it might be my laptop.
Okay. Well, I can check on it at some point. Anyway, I wanted to hear your thoughts on what I said if you didn't hear what I said.
I didn't hear a single fucking word.
Yeah, fuck, I don't remember what I said. All I'm saying is,
what did I get cut off saying? You don't remember either? I was saying that, and I'm going to end now, but I was saying that it just didn't seem like they put up a fight.
Yeah.
That's what's so frustrating.
You can't put up one run and expect to win games. It reminded me of 2021. That's what it reminded me of. When 2021, you had great pitching staff. You put up all of one fucking run a game, pretty much. Or even then, they probably put up zeros and then let up one run. But you can't expect to win that way. And they didn't play that way the whole fucking year. So, I don't know. Next year is going to be really hard. Like, I'm going to get back into it, obviously. But it's going to be really hard to get back into it again.
Yeah, I don't need the so many days till pitchers and catchers. I don't need this was a great season. I don't need the Bartlett Giamatti quote about baseball, how tough it is. Like, just sulk in this one for a while and see what happens. But for this year, we got a summer of entertainment and passion. We did. It's not Mark's job to get a World Series. But how can he get a World Series?
And I think that is a discussion for the offseason part.
You're not getting a World Series when you're selling your TV rights to Bally's Dual fucking Sports Net Wisconsin, and they're only paying you money to, like, there's no competition for their rights, first of all. You know, you can only buy so many Long Island iced teas in the effort of helping the Brewers out. You can only make parking so much money.
Yeah, man.
Maybe if they had an entertainment district outside the stadium that could drive money year round instead of who in the fucking right mind is like, oh, it's January 11th. What do you want to do today? Want to drive to the baseball park and play X golf?
I mean, I've done
Like,
it.
why? I used to work in a restaurant in a
With all
hotel.
due, I've done
I
it.
used to work in a restaurant in a hotel, and people were like, why are the only people that work here or that come eat here staying at the hotel? Because no one wants to walk in a fucking restaurant to go right to the hotel. Like, no one wants to walk in a hotel to go to a restaurant. There was no door outside to come in separate. Why isn't anyone coming? Because it's in a fucking hotel.
There's also a casino with hotels a quarter a mile away. So I don't know what they're really going to do to compete with that. Just make it a fucking baseball stadium somehow. I don't know. That's for people that get paid more than me to figure out, but I don't know. They built that thing in like 2001 when it made sense, when everybody fucking drove there to go to it, and now it's not getting utilized. That's not for me to figure out. I get it why they did it back
You're saying
then.
rideshare killed the Brewers?
I'm saying Uber
Oh,
killed,
rideshare killed
Uber and shuttle. Do you think I ever fucking tailgate, Bart? I go walk my fucking ass to Jack's or I go to Broadhouse and take a shuttle. I do not fucking tailgate. No, I ain't got time for that.
Austin, thanks for jumping on. I am going home. It's 1:40 in the morning.
I'm just not gonna light up a grill and then have to wait for the coals to fucking calm down. All right.
Yeah, it's not 1987 anymore. I know this team likes to act like it, but it's 2025.
Yeah, people forget.
You got to get ahead to get ahead. I don't know what that means. Man. Good to see you.
Right on.
And thanks for hosting for a little bit.
Yeah. All right, go home. Bye.
And thank you all for stopping into, well, most of you. You guys are pretty obscene tonight. But thanks for stopping into the Winklerverse.